Hi, I'm Tammy Kisvaropoulos.
I'm Kathy Moyer, and we're going to do an experiment about...
Dancing raisins.
Okay, first we're going to take clear glass, and we're going to pour in some Sprite, and we're going to see what happens to the raisins. I think the raisins are going to immediately start dancing when they hit the soda. What do you think?
Well, let's put the raisins in and see, but I think that they're going to sink to the bottom as they take on the liquid absorption and the carbonation. They're going to start dancing on the floor of the glass.
Oop, they're waking up.
While those are taking on the liquid, we're going to try another liquid to see what happens with the raisins. We're going to be using vinegar and comparing the two.
They're not dancing too much.
No.
And here goes the raisins and the vinegar. Oops, there goes one dancing.
Oh. It must be a slow dance. I wonder how long it's going to take for these to actually take on the liquid and actually get a lot of movement.
I see a lot of bubbles coming up.
Yeah, and nothing's happening here, so
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a dead experiment.
Yeah. It's really starting to carbonate in there. Come on, raisins, dance.
At this time, we're going to go ahead and let the camera run and video the experiment while the scientific process is taking place.
Okay, this is taking longer than expected, so we're going to turn the camera off and record what time, and if they start dancing, we will let you know what time they start dancing. We're back.
And one of the things that we were going to talk about is how we predicted what would happen. I had predicted that the raisins would sink to the bottom and take on the carbonation and start dancing. However, I thought that it would happen relatively soon. But after at least 10 minutes of observing, they're still taking on the carbonation, but they actually have not started dancing yet.
And I thought they would dance right away as soon as they hit the soda, but nothing as of yet.
One of the things that we've observed during this lab is the chemical reaction. As you can see, the bubbles, the carbonated bubbles that is happening. It's a continuous flow or a continuous stream of carbonation. But we thought that they would, like I said, start dancing prior to this time. But as of yet, they haven't. We've got a little bit of movement. In fact, I'm starting to see some movement right now, but they haven't actually started dancing with a lot of movement.
So I guess we have dud raisins.
or maybe we just need to allow more time for the raisins to take on the carbonation. In the second experiment, with the variable of using vinegar, these just sank and are doing nothing. So I think that we're not going to get any action out of this particular thing. If anything, they may absorb the liquid and just rise to the top once they have taken on more liquid. But I don't think they're going to dance around because it doesn't have the effects of the carbonation.
But we're going to close out of this experiment now because we have to go to your class. So
I think we need to go on a little, because we haven't got actual results. We have to let it... we're starting.
There's a little bit of movement.
We're getting some movement. I think we need to carry out the experiment a little bit longer.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and stop the camera and come back to it at a later time. Just leave our experiment set up and come back to it.
Yep, that's what we'll do then.
Okay, we're not sure if we skewed the experiment somehow or not, so we're going to try again with fewer raisins. Maybe we put too much raisins in for the amount of liquid and carbonation, so we're going to try this again using a fewer amount of raisins. And Kathy, why do you think that the raisins, what effect do you think the bubbles have on the raisins?
I think the carbonation is bringing the raisins to the top, and as soon as those bubbles break, I think that's what makes the raisins float down.
Oh, that sounds...
But there is... Oh, I thought there was some at the top. There's not.
No, it's just
the way the glass
it's,
was.
I think, the refraction of the...
Oh, they're
light.
moving a little bit.
They are moving. It does seem like we're getting more movement this time than out of the first experiment. But they have come up to the surface and drop back down, but it's not like a continuous action, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a continuous action or if this is what's normal for this experiment. I think Kathy's right that once the raisin takes on the bubbles are light and buoyant, and so they float up to the top of the glass, and then I think once they reach the surface, the bubbles break and then sink back down. Looks like this little guy over here is trying to... He's trying to go up, but then the bubbles keep breaking. So those are some of the observations that I have gathered from this experiment, and I think that we're in agreement that...
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do much of anything more. I'm not sure if it's because the raisins are too big or why.
Another thing is I used golden raisins, so I don't know if the golden raisins would have had a different effect than the regular dark raisins, but I had golden raisins in my cupboard, so I just brought those ones for the experiment. So I guess it's time to close this experiment and then go on and do our write-up of our findings.
Okay, thank you for watching.